Hi everyone, welcome back. Doing another video today. Today we are going to try to bloom this wine caddy. The wine caddy comes with coasters, and I actually bloomed to the coasters earlier, but then realized I wasn't recording. So I'm going to repeat the process here on the wine caddy so you guys can see what I did with the coasters. So I've already measured up my resin. I've got the part that's sitting waiting to decant. There's actually a little bit that I'm going to mix some alcohol ink into. These two combined together make up 3 ounces, which is half of this mold. And then I have the 30 grams of what I'll use for the whites, which will get 3 drops of the casting craft and 4 drops of the Pinata white alcohol ink. So we'll go ahead and get started on this. I'll start making up the whites. So 1, 2, and 3. So we're doing the colors today. We're gonna do blue and gold. I don't know why, I just kind of thought blue and gold would look really good together. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, give me a good drop. There we go. We'll see. All right, so let's give this a quick stir and let her sit off to the side. Again, I warmed A and B in a nice warm water bath before starting. It just happens to be what I like to do and what works well for this epoxy that I use, which is the Pro Marine tabletop. So in our little cup here, we're going to add some of the Let's Resin Midnight Blue. We'll add a couple drops into it. Don't want to get it too dark. Let's see. Oops, stay there. Should have mixed in a bigger cup. Let's do that. Let's pour it into this bigger cup. All right, we'll keep mixing it up. So I don't want anything too dark because, as we know, it's gonna pull from the outside in. So I don't wanna go too dark with it. Oh, dropped casting craft. Look at that, in the mold. I need to create a bloopers reel for all the crazy stuff that I do. Okay, so I like that. It's a pretty blue. It's not too dark. It should pull in off of the edges nicely to give us some good color. Okay, let's check on our temperature of the main guy. Let me get some wipes out. I'll have my stockpile out. Let's see where he's at. Turn this on. Again, for my process, we're looking for that at least 96.3. We'll see how close we are. Boy, I'm making a mess. Okay, so it's still climbing, so we're gonna check. So in the middle, I'm going to use the Let's Resin Gold ink, and we'll probably put just a little bit, again, of the Let's Resin Midnight Blue. We'll see how those two combine together. All right, so the big guy is definitely up to temperature, which I'm guessing, I'm not gonna verify, that my blue is too. So I'm gonna take the blue and I'm gonna pour it just around the edges. But let's get the stick out. The way my luck is going today, I'll probably send the stick flying across the garage or something. All right, so let's work on getting this guy poured, like I said, just around the edges. Let's make sure we don't have a bunch of white in the bottom. That would be bad. Okay. All right. Pinch the cup really well. Try to get it to come out relatively slow so I can a little bit better control of where it's gonna go, hopefully. Run this all the way around the mold, like I said, just against the edges of it. That way when we pour the clear, it'll push it against the sides of the molds and kind of spring back out as everything levels itself out. All right. Good. We'll come around again real quick. Make sure we use everything that's in the cup. So here, this is about an ounce that I mixed, because I know I want to do a total of 3 ounces to fill this guy half full, in order to leave room to come back in and backfill. All right, so we'll make sure we get all of them in there so we're not wasting any. I think everybody looks pretty evenly spaced. All right, so there's all of that guy. So now we will go ahead and get our clear put in. See much bubble mitigation we may need to do. Hopefully not a lot. Usually I have fairly decent success with having the resin warmed up so much before I pour it that bubble mitigation isn't too bad. Not always, but I don't know, maybe 90% of the time, 95% of the time, which I'll take those odds. All right, make sure we get all of it out as much as we can so we're not wasting. Let's see, put some of that there. All right, so I'm not entirely sure, since I've never bloomed the wine caddy, how the blooms are going to work, which direction I'm gonna do. I know I want to do tighter spirals. I've been noticing that the tighter I pipe the rings in, the better the blooms have been turning out. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can continue that trend. So let's check the temp then here on our whites. See how much time we have so I know how fast we have to work with the inks, getting them in the middle. Okay, so we're good. She's just climbing into the 80s slowly. All right, so we're going to put the gold in the middle, kind of around the opening where the wine bottle would pop through there. Again, these have a really big opening, so I won't really squeeze. It's gonna be more of a gentle tip, and to get some to come out without going too crazy. See, kind of disperse that. Ooh, I think that's gonna be more than enough. All right, get some of the midnight blue in there with it. All right. Oh, kind of falling through the gold a little bit. Okay, that should be good. So we're gonna give it all a swirl, kind of make it into a design around this that we like. Let's pull it that way. Let's see. Ooh, lots of blue and gold. Maybe too much. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Give that a quick wipe off. All right. Come back to our cup. Oh, it's getting nice and warm. Check your temperature here. Okay, see what we climb up to. I'm really liking the way that, like I said, the white comes in. The only way I can describe it is it kind of hits the blue and kind of bounces it back and pulls it into the mold. I don't know, I kind of like it, kind of gives it a nice gradient effect. All right, so we're still climbing. We're looking for that magic number for 101.3. Again, that number, you guys, is what I've come up and discovered works well with the resin I use for my working time. It's by no means what everybody's is going to be. Everybody uses a different resin, likes to work differently. You almost have to become a mad scientist when you're figuring out what temperature and how long to make a bloom. Literally, my husband, that's what he called me for a while, was his mad scientist out working in her lab, AKA our garage. And I did approach it scientifically. I made notes on every time I attempted what worked, what didn't work, what was, how long did I wait, what was the temperature of my resin, until I finally came up with a formula or a recipe that worked. So the first time it worked, I was ecstatic. We're almost there, temperature-wise. And I decided, well, I'm not gonna say I've actually have it figured out until I can do it several more times. So I think about the third or maybe fourth time that I repeated the exact same process that I came up with the results that I was looking for. Then I knew, okay, I was good. I had a formula worked out and I could make blooms consistently. Now, are there times that it doesn't work? Absolutely. It's how it goes. It's resin. It does what it wants. So we're up to temp. We're going to put in our piping bag and get ready to figure out how we can make this wine caddy into a bloom, since like I said, it's a very irregular shape. I'm not sure how it's gonna work or which way I'll pull or drag the resin in there that we're gonna pipe in to get it to bloom. It's gonna be an experiment, so we're doing it together. Okay. All right, so bubbles aren't too bad. We're looking okay with bubbles. All right. I think I will just real quick. All right. So we have our piping bag, our little drip towel, if you will, and we'll snip off that top. Okay, looks like there's good drips. Let me switch my hands. All right, get that out of the way. All right. Oh, how do I start this? I think I'm gonna start around the outside of the mold first, because I really kind of want to keep those, make sure we have blooms coming out at the edges. So see if we can't follow the edge of this guy around. Keep them going. And then we'll just backtrack around again. I'll have to make sure when we pull through that I pay attention to those areas where it's like right there, that in and out. Make sure we have good blooms, that we don't end up with blobs. So go around, try to loop it again. So I do have some left in this bag, so see if we can't run another line in here. Since, again, my piping skills are not always the best. Looks like a crazy 2-year-old does them sometimes, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Either it'll work or the 4 coasters won't have a wine caddy. All right, we're gonna call that good. Boy, I'm just making a mess everywhere today. Let me clean up, move some of this out of my way. All right, grab a wipe. So, let's see. Let's start closest into us. So let's go, go out. Try to develop a couple anchor points on the edge of the mold to hope that it'll hold. All right, so I know we got blobs, so let's bring it in. And we'll in. Okay, we'll pull this side in and through, this guy in and through. And then I think almost maybe from here out to that point. Let's see what that looks like. Again, I'm not sure. It's a very irregular shape. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we never know until we try, right? All right, move this out of the way. Get rid of my trash. We'll grab the heat gun. All right, let's see what we can do. Moving the resin. Fingers crossed. Try warming it up. All right, let's try pushing and see what happens. Again, it's an irregular shape, so I don't know how well this will work. Maybe if I push in and out a little bit. What do you think? Maybe in and out. Give it a shot, see what happens. In and out. A little in and out. Moving it too much, I think. Okay. We're gonna be done with that. There's just so much, there's not enough area to try to keep pushing it. Everything does look like it's blooming. I don't know what the blooms will look like I said, because it's such an irregular shape, it's harder to drag it through. But we'll give it a little while, see how it starts to bloom. Okay, so I don't know, it's probably been 15-20 minutes, and this is what it's shaping up to be. God, I am creating so many shadows. I'm so sorry, guys. Like I said, today is not my day, but we are getting blooms for sure. Definitely the veining. Let's see if I can get my finger there. The veining right there, that's kind of neat. Probably way too much gold, but oh well, won't know until I try. So let's keep looking. Could be good. I don't know. I'm gonna be super anxious to flip this one tomorrow. Kind of like how those feather out into there. We'll see. Real quick. So here are the coasters that I said I poured earlier, but forgot that the camera was not recording. Apparently my phone died. So here's what the blooms, the back side of them. Again, looks really pretty. I kind of like doing a different shape, doing the geode shape molds compared to rounds or squares. Change it up a little bit, but again, each one of these, you know, they're individual crazy characteristics. I did, when I did these, use 2 cups for white. So literally I had 30 grams for just 2 coasters because I wanted to put those rings a lot tighter. So we'll wait to see what happens. I'll come back in 3 to 4 hours, backfill these guys, backfill the wine caddy, and we'll demold tomorrow. So, demolding. I put the whole set together. Obviously we poured this. I messed up. Did not get the recording of this, but I figured we'll demold everything together. I did end up backfilling these guys in the Let's Resin turquoise alcohol ink. So we'll see how they turned out. My husband looked at them and he thought from the backside that they looked like islands in the Caribbean. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, yeah, maybe a little. But they do have pretty good detail. We'll have to see. Again, I've never tried to bloom a wine caddy. We'll have to see what it looks like. So here we go. Let's get her out. Pop that middle. Little stick. Work the middle out. Okay. All right. First ever wine caddy. Holy smokes, we did it. I bloomed a wine caddy. Oh, those look kind of like feathers when they come up in here. Excuse me. Got a few blobbies right here, but it kind of looks cool. All right, we can run with that. That looks good. All right, we'll put her back down. All right, on to the first one. I don't know, what do you guys think? Look like islands? He said they look like little islands. Let's see what happens. edges feel good. Don't look like I overfilled. I'm not seeing any parts I'm gonna have to trim off or sand. Okay. Coaster number 1. Ta-da! No, wow. Those are so cool. What do you guys think? Pretty. I like the blue. So it actually, you can tell if you look at it this way, hopefully you guys can see, I'm not in the light, you can just see the difference between where the green comes in and the blue, or I should say turquoise. All right, coaster number 2. Yeah, I like the gradient. It's pulling it in. Like I said, I did these just like the wine caddy, poured that blue on the outside and filled in with clear. All right, on to number 3. Oh, all right, I'm gonna date myself on these. I was born in, let's say, the early 70s. So I grew up as a 80s, 90s baby. And back then, mainly probably more into the 90s, I used to run around with blue jean shorts or blue jean skirts that always had lace trim. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. Like your blue jean skirts or shorts with the lace trim on the end. I don't know why, I'm dating myself. Those are pretty. Lots of layers. The blue, and then you can see bits of the gold. I like it, like it. All right, last one. Oh, come on now. Don't stick on me. Don't stick. So if anybody's wondering how I have 1 wine caddy and 4 of the molds, because usually the wine caddy comes with 2 molds, it's because my previous wine caddy, when I first started doing this, I destroyed it. Don't use torches. I melted it. So I ordered a new one. So now I have the caddy and 4 coasters. Okay, all right. Oh, come out. And last one. Oh, there's lots of gold in this one. Lots and lots of gold. Can we see? Pretty, lots and lots of gold in that one. Lots of layering details. It pulled that blue through. So yeah, I'm very pleased with how all of these guys turned out. I think it's super pretty. I'm kind of excited. I bloomed this pretty odd shape of that wine caddy. Got her done. Middle kind of looks, I don't know, almost maybe a bit like a spider web. And then the tips look like feathers. But hey, first time ever doing it, I'll take it. I'll probably try these again, in fact. Well, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It'll let me know to keep doing these, making the experiments, see what we end up with. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.